Yo! Has everyone reserved their seats for the fight of the year? Jar of mayo that gained consciousness versus the annoying orange that managed to become the president. What a time to be alive, goddammit! Before anyone says, what the fuck do you know about politics? Well, let me just say, I actually have plenty of experience, thank you very much. I actually ran the campaign for the Kaguya Miyuki ticket of 2019. So I'm what you call an expert. So yeah, the nation is having one of the most public divorces you've ever seen, and it's crazy to imagine that only a few months ago we got to see this banger of a tweet. Now, full disclosure, I don't care too much about politics of, everything, because it's above my pay grade. But I am trying to get those sweet YouTube views! And I thought this was all pretty fucking funny, so I thought you guys might too. So yeah, let's do this. Moral of the story, Mars Lover 123 is angry that Toupee Haver 69 isn't lowering the US spending, which is pretty funny. Because that's kind of the only thing that he's cared about for the last 5 months. Just cutting shit and taking food away from babies or something like that. I don't know, it depends on who you ask. But moral of the story is he wants to have shit cut. And since that isn't happening, he's a little pissed. Shit got kind of heated. So Elon Musk started talking crap on X about all the Republicans that voted to pass what they're calling this big beautiful bill, BBB. Back in my day, that stood for Big Baller Brand. Shout out LeVar Ball, but that's all right. And anyway, since Elon's talking shit about the people that passed it, he's kind of indirectly talking shit about their leader, who he's been working hand in hand with for months, kind of giving each other the old circle jerk. But, it's just opinions, nothing crazy. The point was he wasn't happy with them. And that's about it, for a little while at least. Then I guess he decided to start breaking out some of that Rogan weed. Maybe a little bit of that, high-grade ketamine too, allegedly. Man started busting out every single version of a "this you" tweet he could find. He was quote retweeting old Trump tweets from back in the day when he was basically talking shit about the same thing that the Republicans are doing now. So no, actually, he was that legit one toxic ex that has every single bad thing or possibly hypocritical thing you've ever said screenshotted and placed in a vault for a rainy day. It was actually insane. And I just can't believe this is real life, honestly. Buddy, hop off Twitter and go run your businesses. By the way, can we just take a second to pay homage to all the fine engineers and astronauts that have to work alongside this guy, or under him, I guess you would say? Imagine being them just for a moment. Probably working ridiculous hours and trying to hit deadlines and, doing a bunch of fucking math and how the fuck are we not going to explode people while your boss is challenging the president of the United States to a metaphorical duel over what used to be Twitter. You're paid a fuck ton of money to, figure out how to not accidentally blow people up as you send them to space just to see your own boss dropping absolute nukes on the timeline after a long day at work. That's gotta be wild. Anyways, of course, the president, being who he is, has some things to say about all this. He threatened to get rid of all of Elon's funding, for SpaceX and everything, because there's a lot of subsidies involved in that kind of thing. And then he also suggested that Elon was going crazy because they got rid of some of the EV tax credits and, just taking all types of minor jabs, mostly trying to frame him as a disgruntled coworker lashing out over minor things. Now, I will say all of this was mildly entertaining, fun and games to me, but that's when all hell broke loose and Elon made a post that made everyone's jaws drop. The richest man in the world called the president a pedo on his main account. And this motherfucker got 220 million followers, okay? He's not like one of those rich guys that are kind of low-key. You got those 20,000 people that are jerking him off talking about crypto. No, this is a very popular guy. Everybody knows who the fuck Elon Musk is. And so he basically called Trump a pedo, or heavily implied it, saying that the only reason that the Epstein files weren't released is because Trump himself is in them. What the fuck? Now, at the time of me recording this, I gotta say, he has deleted that, so, but you can't just take that back. That was had to be one of the most liked tweets of all time. It had 1 million within 24 hours or some shit. It was nuts. And by the way, if you don't know what those files are, I don't know, just Google it. Have you been living under a rock for 8 fucking years? What? Now, I, like a lot of you, went no fucking way, he just said that, but also had one follow-up question after that. So, Elon, you knew this the whole time? Yeah, if that's true, it is good to know and definitely should be brought to light, but I don't think this makes you look like the hero you think it does. I mean, I hate to go back to this tweet, but you're implying the president is into little kids, but at the same time, you say shit like this about him. In the not so distant past, this isn't like it was fucking 5 years ago. Bro, you don't exactly look like a saint right now, is all I'm trying to say. That's basically like saying being a creep is one thing that I can let slide, but now you're messing with the money, you're spending too much, that's where I draw the line. I mean, I don't know, seems like we might have some priority issues here is all I'm trying to say. But yeah, today had to be one of the wildest days to be a citizen of, I don't know, the fucking earth. I mean, this shit had Kanye looking like a child of divorce. If he wasn't such a terrible human being, someone might have actually went ahead and adopted him, from his broken family. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of mixed reactions from the community, basically depending on which ideological bukkake you're jerking off in. Like you have a whole bunch of people acting like this is all some big ruse and they're playing 4D chess of some variety, but not really explaining how because like, I guess, I don't know. This kind of sounds like the whole Drake and Kendrick like part 2 thing. Like I knew you were going to go for the kids angle. Like, what do you mean by that? Why would you know he was going to go for that? And why are you proud of this? I don't know. Anyways, I don't really know what to say right now. What do you guys think about all this? I personally just said, oh shit, a couple times, you know, kind of scratched my head, scratched my balls, and went and watched some Hunter x Hunter on Netflix because, like, there's not really much else I can do besides hope the president isn't actually a children enjoyer. Because whether you like him or not, that definitely wouldn't be a good thing because that means somebody was affected and all that. But at the same time, if it's true, we should know, and some justice needs to be served out. So, you know, drop them fucking falls, damn it. That's what I think. And like, why wouldn't you? That'd be the easiest way to clear your name, whether it's like yourself or, you know, for people, you know, I don't know, just some food for thought. But still, no matter who you are, you've got to admit, this is pretty crazy. And you've just got to ask yourself, how did we go from inventing the atomic bomb? Okay, America, we did that shit. Woo! America! Now having like tech leaders and billionaires as well as politicians throwing shots at each other on a site that's like 80% porn at this point. Like, I mean, fucking open up the timeline, hit refresh 7 times. Out of those 7 times, you're at least going to see some Overwatch porn at least one good time. No matter who you are. So I don't know how we got here is my point. Anyways, if you're an oxygen breather like myself, make sure to subscribe. I hope to see you in another video. Like I said, just fucking yap about it down below. I want to hear all your fucking crazy conspiracies and shit. Just because it's entertaining to me. And I have popcorn that I haven't eaten in a while, okay? Also, make sure to like the video, turn on them post notifications. We got some more bangers coming for you. Tell your mothers I said hey and have a nice day.